The office Christmas party. A time of joy, laughter, and, if you're me, completely losing your dignity in front of your coworkers. Let me set the stage. It was last Friday night. The venue? A swanky hotel ballroom with twinkling lights, an Instagram-worthy dessert table, and, of course, the most dangerous thing of all, an open bar. Now, I've always been a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. 2 beers, and I'm basically ready to serenade strangers. So when I saw the open bar, I knew I needed to pace myself. But what's pacing yourself when you're surrounded by free cocktails, eggnog with a kick, and coworkers chanting, shots. 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 Fast forward to about 10 p.m. At this point, I'm definitely tipsy, but in my head, I'm still the life of the party. I've danced to Mariah Carey, crushed a plate of mini sliders, and am now deep in conversation with someone I never expected to bond with, the head of HR. Let's call her Karen. Now, Karen is the kind of person who usually intimidates me. She's all business, no nonsense, the type of woman who could fire you with a smile. But that night, she was different. She was laughing, joking, and even complimented my ridiculous Christmas sweater with the blinking reindeer. I thought, maybe Karen's not so scary after all. Somehow, the conversation drifted to her commute. She mentioned how late it was and how hard it was going to be to get a cab home. And that's when drunk me had the brilliant idea. I reached into my pocket, pulled out my spare room key. It was a keycard from the hotel since I'd booked a room to crash after the party, and handed it to her. And then, to make it even more cringe-worthy, I said the words that would haunt me forever, "My bed is big enough if you don't mind sharing." The second the words left my mouth, I knew I'd messed up. But instead of running away in shame, drunk me thought it was the coolest, most suave thing I'd ever said. I winked, yes, I actually winked, and walked away like James Bond after delivering a one-liner. Karen. She laughed. Not an uncomfortable laugh, but more of a, "Oh, you're drunk and ridiculous," kind of laugh. She even came up to me later, handed the key back, and said something like, "You're sweet, but I think that would be a bit unprofessional." Cue my brain going, wait, did she just call me sweet? I should have been mortified, but instead, I was on cloud 9. The real humiliation didn't hit until Monday morning. I walked into the office feeling pretty good, thinking, no one remembers anything from Friday night, right? Oh, how wrong I was. As soon as I sat at my desk, one of my coworkers leaned over and said, "So, have you been fired yet?" I froze. How did they know? Did Karen tell someone? Was the whole office talking about it? Turns out, Karen hadn't said a word. But apparently, I had. At some point during the party, I'd bragged about my smooth move to at least 3 people. They thought it was the funniest thing ever and wasted no time spreading the story. I spent the entire day dodging knowing smirks and jokes like, "Hey, got a spare key for me too?" By lunch, I was seriously considering quitting. But here's the twist, Karen didn't treat me any differently. If anything, she was friendlier than usual. She even joked about the whole thing, saying, "At least you didn't try to serenade me." Now that would have been a firing offense. So, what's the moral of this story? Maybe don't mix tequila with holiday cheer. And if you do, for the love of all things professional, keep your room key in your pocket. Do I regret what happened? Honestly, not really. It's a story I'll laugh about for years, once the embarrassment fades, of course. And hey, at least I didn't spill wine on the CEO like someone else did that night.